Dit is die maand Oktober. The words of Louis Leipold. Oktober, die mooiste maand. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the month of October. Can you believe it? We are already in the middle of October. I'm sitting and greeting you from Cape Town, and I bid you welcome on behalf of our CEO, Dr. Chris van der Whuffen, and the rest of the senior staff at Stellenbosch Business School Executive Development. And I'm greeting you from a beautiful Cape Town with wonderful weather. Usually I would like to say, you know, if people ask me, so how are you doing? I would say, no, fine to mild, but scattered thunder showers and rain will occur within the interior. So today I'm not going to say, I'm going to say the skies are blue and we're all just about ready for our December holiday. I hope I haven't put you in the holiday mood, but I wanted you to feel very welcome and excited as I am and my colleagues are, as we want to spend the next hour with you as our guests, providing you some information about the Young Minds program. My name is Kevin Henderson, and I am the Proposal and Design Specialist working within the Open Enrollment Channel at Stellenbosch Business School Executive Development. And I'm going to share some information. You would by now see the agenda on the screen. And so shortly after we've started, I'm going to talk to you about an overview of the program. And then I'm going to hand over to one of our colleagues, a learning process facilitator, Mr. Mark-Andre Daniels, who will talk to some other elements, the element of life coaching, job shadowing, and the psychometric profiling. And then I'll hand over to our channel director, Ms. Claire Sissing, who will talk to you around the calendar and some other practicalities of the program. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll spend some time responding and trying to answer some of the questions that you may ask right at the end. But before we do so, Claire will also deal with some frequently asked questions that we know that people usually ask, and we would like to share that kind of information with you as well. And then shortly before we're going to hand over to your time to ask us some questions, I'll hand over to Kerry Smalley, who's our marketing director, who just want to share some information around an opportunity that exists with Capitec Bank in collaboration with Stellenbosch Business School. Ladies and gentlemen, as your captain for this afternoon, that's kind of the flight plan in terms of how we're going to do. So I'm going to invite you to relax, sit back, as I'm going to hand you over to this wonderful team. We call ourselves the Dream Team, who will see to your comforts. We won't be able to serve you some refreshments, but if you need some refreshments, I'm sure that you're close by to your either your kitchen or your lounge. I wouldn't want to say the word bar, but whatever the beverage of your choice is, please feel free to enjoy that while you are listening to what we have to offer you this afternoon. Let me introduce the Dream Team to you. On the screen, you will see her as well. On the left of my slide, Miss Samantha Abrahams, who is the program manager, and you will in due course hear a lot from her, should your young person be willing to continue with the program with us. So Samantha Abrams, good afternoon and welcome. And then we have our client relations person, who is Ms. Charmaine Mitchell. Charmaine shared this afternoon with me that it started raining up in Joburg. So if you are in that side of our country, please enjoy the rain. I can smell, you know, the late afternoon thunderstorm, and then that smell that comes up from the soil as the water is cooling the soil down as well. So welcome, Charmaine, great to have you. And then we have her right in the center of our page for a very good reason, because she's the glue that keeps all of us together. Ladies and gentlemen, you can put your hands together for Miss Claire Sissing, who is our channel director. Claire, great to have you with us this afternoon. And then no need to introduce me, but I think the other person, Mr. Mark-Andre Daniels, who is the learning process facilitator, who will journey with us for the next 55 minutes or so. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I can see there's some people from 𝙗𝙗𝙬𝙬, a wonderful place there on the West Coast, I suppose. But I've also seen some people from White River checking in with us. So great to have all of you with us this afternoon. Abdul Kalam says the youth need to be enabled to become job generators from job seekers. You and I are painfully aware of one of our biggest challenges in this country, which is our high unemployment rate. At Stellenbosch Business School Executive Development, we aim to make a contribution to this quote that Abdul Kalam shares with us, to help our young people to become job generators rather than job seekers. And the manner in which we would like to do that is by, and I will share with you the objective of the program then, is by looking at the main aim of the program. And so the main aim of the program is then, obviously, to help our youth to become job generators rather than job seekers. And we do that by providing our young people a program that is structured around their personal development, in which they will be able to get to know themselves very well. But at the same time, they'll also be able and granted the opportunity to explore the real world of work, whilst through one of the psychometric assessments that we will do, we will help them to match their talents with the opportunities that they either can create or that they may find within the environment as well. So in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, our Young Minds or Young Minds program is aimed to provide a structured personal development program in which people will learn to know themselves. They will explore the real world of work, whilst at the same time find opportunities that exist out there or that they can create themselves, and then match their talents and their gifts in order for them to become job generators as well. We run our program over three key themes, and the key themes would be, amongst other, entrepreneurial thinking, with the emphasis on thinking, which we need to develop with young people, then also around business management, and then a very big part and component of the program, which is the personal mastery. For those of us who know the work of Stephen Covey, you will know that Stephen Covey says that the biggest challenge for people is to conquer themselves. And I'm referring to his book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And Covey says, before you can conquer the world, you need to conquer yourself. So what we would like to offer our young people is, in our personal mastery course, an opportunity to get a grip on themselves, to begin to know who they are, so that they can see where the gifts and talents sit in terms of entrepreneurial mindsets, as well as creating and generating business opportunities within the world out there. Our program, like I said, the 3 key themes, important aspect of that is also that we have a dual pathway teaching approach, and which simply means that the theory and practice will run simultaneously. In other words, in any given week that the young people will be on the program, they will have an opportunity to do some theoretical work, as well as have some practical application of that work that they have learned the theory of, so that they can begin to learn. Learning for us is around not just getting through the exam or through the assignment, but it's about getting the knowledge that you've acquired and then translating that knowledge into what we call a change in their behavior. Now, as I've mentioned, that the program sits around 3 key themes with a dual teaching approach, and the modules that we will be following in terms of getting through the 3 key themes is, amongst other modules, like financial management, marketing, people management and team dynamics, economics, as well as operations planning and project management. And then on the personal mastery aspect, we look at their own thinking and their paradigms. their emotional intelligence, how to do professional presentations, their own self-leadership, as well as their own personal branding, and the issue of neural leadership, where they learn to understand how the brain works, under what conditions does the brain work optimally, and when is it that they can bring their best thinking in terms of generating ideas. And then lastly, with regards to the third key theme, which is entrepreneurial thinking, we then look at the entrepreneurial process, as well as innovation, and then we then bring all of that together by helping them to do their career plan, which will link together with their personal brand that they will establish. Just about a week or two ago, my colleagues and I, we were in Stellenbosch while this year's cohort was doing their final presentations. And what a pleasure to hear all that they are sharing with regards to their own personal development over this past year. And I, when I was there a week and a half ago, was painfully aware of how much this program has meant to many people, even though for some of us, it might not mean such a lot. Now, having said that, I love the quote that Friedrich Nietzsche says. He says that the surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. And one of the biggest takeouts that I had a week and a half from our final presentations was how these young people who were put in some diverse groups and syndicate teams, how they have rallied together by challenging one another, but most of all, also challenging the faculty that facilitated to them. And they are now becoming critical citizens in our society, helping our country to reach the real potential that sits within our country. I want to introduce our next speaker, who will help us to see what is it that helps these young people to shift themselves from just agreeing with people and rather becoming people who will criticize and challenge. So ladies and gentlemen, your hands and mine as I welcome Mr. Marc-André Daniels, the learning process facilitator. As Mark is about to start talking to us, maybe just a quick word on what that title means. Mark is the learning process facilitator. And what Marc-André does is that he is the one person that spends every day of class with your young people. We will have different faculty facilitating all these different modules that we referred to earlier on. But Mark becomes the golden thread. He will help them to integrate, but also help them to make sense of how does all of these different aspects fit together in terms of developing an entrepreneurial thinking mindset, business acumen, and also their personal mastery. Your hands and mine as I hand over to Marc-André Daniels.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Can I just ask for the previous slide to be shown again? Because I want to start off by saying that I'm going to be an urgent provocateur. I'm going to be the troublemaker, because what I want us to do is to turn you into a catalyst for corruption within the context of this quote. I want to corrupt you to think differently about yourself, firstly, and about your abilities, your ambitions, and your potential, but also differently about the world of work and the world of business and the potential that there is out there to become an agent for change and to become a job creator. So having said that, that's my starting point. My job will be, as Kevin has said, to be with you all the way through. So I'll have an overview of every module that you've received, every information that you received. I will have the overview. And my job would be to guide you through that, not academically, but to make sure that there is interaction and engagement, that you are working together. I'll do this through various steps. One of it is, as on the slide, reflective practice, that we the academic comes in, the faculty comes in, presents a course or module, and we have to go back and now critically think about, what did I learn? How will I use this new learning? And what will the impact be of this new knowledge on my life and my context? What is my journey? So through that, I'll be guiding you through that kind of thinking so that it starts making sense to you. So it's not just about receiving the notes or receiving the lecture from the academics, but it's going away and taking it apart, thinking about it, discussing it with the people in your group so that you come to an understanding of yourself and of what this new knowledge means to you. All right, so let me just use a mangled metaphor here. At the start, we showed you a slide and said that this is a 9-month career-focused gap year. You know what else happens in 9 months or at the end of 9 months? I'm going to be your midwife, your nanny. I'm going to guide you through that process so that you can give birth to a beautiful process, which is you with a different mindset about yourself and about the world of work and the possibilities to create jobs out there. So this is the journey that we're going to take. And how do we do that? Yes, we're going to do that through assessments. These assessments will not only be for grades. That will be the modules that you do, and you'll have your assignments and get your 80% and your 100%. That's the academic part. And I'm sure all of you will do well in that. You've passed Matric, you know how to study. These assessments that we'll be doing is on the personal side. It's about behavioral matters and personality matters. We'll do a Gallup Strength Finder in which you will explore, what are my talents, what are my strengths? And I can guarantee you will come out being transformed by just having thought differently about yourself. You will see yourself differently because you will know what your hidden strengths are and how you can start using them. And we will also look at what your personal influencing style is, your effect on other people. Because if we're going to go out into the world to affect change, we need to know, how do I use what I have to reach people and to change people's perspective. We will also do a personality test in which we will look at 16 personality factors so that you can really understand, this is who I am. This is the kind of job that I will thrive in. We will explore that. What is the kind of work situation that will be best suited to my talents, my needs, and my personality? And that will give you already a focus on, this is the direction that I want to go in. So that is a beautiful process. All right. So we will do this through various strategies. One of it is the life coaching. For me, a crucial part of it. There is no other course that I know of where you will get free life coaching as part of the process, which means you'll be allocated a life coach. And you will have sessions with that coach in which you can sit and unpack and question and unravel issues about yourself, your personality, your career path, your choices, your decisions. So this will also be running throughout the program with you, your life coach, to guide you in your thinking. So we will look at your personal mastery. We will look at your life plan. You'll start off with starting to construct a life plan. And you will be guided on how to populate that life plan, how to guide that life plan to eventually get to where you want to be to start your life at the end of the 9 months. There are 5 sessions which you will have with a professional coach. So these are people, they're not academic only, they are actual professional life coaches, and they will take you on that journey of sorting out your life, as it were. Setting out goals and reaching those goals. And then I will check in with you from time to time. We will be in constant contact with each other through emails, through WhatsApp group, so that you are never left abandoned. You will be part of a team and you will work within that team. And my job is to get the team to gel and work together, and also the teams amongst themselves to work together. So your greatest strength will come from the inspiration and the support that you will draw from your team. I want to say at this point, you might feel intimidated by some of the modules and think, oh, business, maths, figures, that's not me. That's okay. Because in this team is where you will get the support that you need. Each one contributes what they found out previously in their strength finder and their personality test. I know what I can confidently bring to my team. And from those offerings that each one brings into the team, that is the strength of the team. And that is where your team will shine. And that is where your opportunity will be to shine. So there's no space for shy people here. You start with being shy, but at the end, you've seen the testimonies we've played at the start with the videos of the cohort who's finishing off now and who have previously completed the program. They're much more confident and self-assured because they know who they are. So the life plan is a reflection of your life up to now, where you are going to, what your journey is. Yes, there are workbook exercises to guide your thinking, but we'll be looking specifically at authenticity. How authentic, how real are you? Your vulnerability. We're not all perfect, especially you coming in. You don't have all the questions, the answers to the questions in life. This will not give you the answers in life, no, but we will explore that vulnerability and try and find the strengths within your personality to act as a crutch for you to overcome those vulnerabilities. A lot of this depends on self-reflection and critical self-awareness that we will explore as well, and then self-regulation. How do I regulate my behavior to get successfully to be where I want to be in 5 years' time, or even perhaps at the end of this program in 9 months' time? So you will start off with formulating a profile of your life, personally and entrepreneurially. And then we will together with the life coach and with myself, and of course your teammates, we will develop that into an unfolding story so that you are transformed and come out at the end a completely different person. That I can guarantee you. An entrepreneur, a business-minded thinking person. And I can share with you, many of the participants before have said, you know, business was the last thing on my mind. I'm not interested in business. But having gone through this program and the various aspects of business, whether it's financing or budgeting or HR or management or branding and advertising, they have found their niche and they have found this is something I can do. This is what I'm interested in. And they know now, excuse me, what path they want to follow within the business world. So we're not accepting that all of you are going to become, you know, entrepreneurs and start up a business. That would be wonderful for our economy as well. But you will find your place, your niche in the business world, and you will feel confident because you'll know who you are, what your strengths are, and with the learnings that you get through the different modules, you'll be ready to take on the business world. All right. So, and then as a way of preparing you for that, we have a job shadowing program built in. Now, this is where you go and explore the real world of business. You get so much theory, but what happens in the real world? We get you to go and see, does it work? Reflect on the theory and see how it works in life. You will do your own networking. You will come up with a place, a business that you would like to explore. So it'll be your choice. We're not going to say, go to the Spur and work there for 3 weeks or 3 months and come back and tell me what you've experienced. No, this is based on your interest in the business world. So you will go and find an NGO, an NPO, and you will be exposed and you will get an assignment to do while you are working or volunteering within this organization. And this is where we also have you exposed to conversations with entrepreneurs. How did you start your business? What were your challenges? What is the fun of it? What are the frustrations? So we get you then to volunteer within an organization, but beyond that, we would like you to do job shadowing and go and find out about the real work of business so that we don't teach you a theory and you get your 100% wonderful, but you get into the business world and it's a completely different world and you think, I've wasted my time. This is not how the world operates. We put the two together, as Kevin has said, the theory and the practice run concurrently so that you can come back and say, this was not what I found in the real world. That's okay, because we want to create, we want to foster that critical thinking for you to come back and say, this is my understanding. And then we can unpack, because that is where the real learning takes place. That shows learning when you come back and say, I don't agree with this because my experience has been different. Let's unpack and explore. So this is what my role will be, to guide you through all of that. And I can guarantee you, you're going to come out transformed. You'll be the transformers. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Mark. And I hand back straight away to Ms. Claire Sissing, who will talk to us about the practicalities of the program. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you so much, Kevin, and a good afternoon. Thank you so much, Andre, with such passion. I absolutely love that. So yeah, I'm just going to take you through the dates and venues for 2023. So I think firstly, just to note that all our dates are aligned to the university dates, which is really great. So I know that is quite, a lot of people would like to know that. So we kick off the year with the parent orientation session, and that's on the 2nd of March, where it's always great, where we have all the parents, it will be on the Zoom platform, and just basically going through what the expectations would be for your child during the 9 months that he or she will be on the program. We go then straight into, from the 13th to the 30th, the 7th of March, the 10th of March is the week of orientation. So just to note that the first semester will be face-to-face, and then the second semester will be remote. I know we've had quite a few people asking us, that they would love the full program face-to-face. And this would obviously have a big impact on the pricing of the program, because it's very, very expensive for venues in Stellenbosch as well. So if I could just go back, 7th of March to the 10th of March would be on campus in Stellenbosch, and that would be our orientation week, and we would then move straight in to the first block, which is from the 13th to 31st of March, and then there's that recess from the 3rd to the 10th of April, and then we then finish up from the 11th of April to the 28th of June. And then you can see there's another recess, and then we move into the second semester, which, as I said, is remote, and that would start on the 24th of July and move right through to the 27th of October, where we would have our final week, which is 31st October to the 3rd of November. And then our final presentations, where they present to the panel, would be then from the 6th to the 10th of November. Right. Then some frequently asked questions that come up quite often, so we thought we'd just go through it. So there's no specific grade 12 subjects required to apply for the Young Minds program. So you don't have to have mathematics, and we do include life orientation when we do work out that percentage, which is 55% which is a minimum average of 55%. For your mid-year, and then obviously your final grade 12 results in order to qualify to attend the Young Minds program. And as actually just said, that whether it's face-to-face or remote, attendance is compulsory for both semesters as well. So as I said, the first semester is face-to-face on the Stellenbosch University campus, and then second semester will be remote via Zoom. Right. So no, there's no credit exemption towards any university undergrad graduate degrees should you attend the Young Minds program. And the fees for 2023 are 62,330, which is including that. And we do have a Capitec opportunity available, and then our marketing director, Kerry, will chat to you just after this about it. And just to note that the following won't be included in the fees, which is obviously your travel, private accommodation at the reses, should you would like to stay there, your laptop device and necessary software. And obviously you would need an amount of Wi-Fi and data for the remote section of the program. So the data requirements, roughly we worked out sufficient about 300 remote learning hours minimum during that second semester. All right. I'm just going to hand over to the wonderful marketing director, Mrs. Kerry.
Thanks, Claire. So I just wanted to tell everybody and a quick welcome. It's really great to have everyone here. I'm a huge fan of this program. If this had been available in the year 2000, I really wish that I could have done it. So basically, we have this incredible opportunity with Capitec Bank. whereby applicants can, well, parents and guardians of applicants, so the young people actually can't apply for the loan, but the parents and guardians or sponsors of the program can apply on their behalf up to the value of the program. And the repayment terms are very favorable, so an extended payment term of up to 84 months and a favorable interest rate. So I suggest we get in there early before it goes up any higher than it currently is. It's super quick. So if you go onto our website, there is a link, Chanel has put it in the chat. It'll take you straight through to the 𝗵𝙗𝙗 PDF, whereby you can go and check your sort of eligibility for the loan, and also how long it'll take. Basically, this loan is only with 𝗵𝙗𝙗𝙗, so we are not involved in whether or not it will be approved. But once it is approved with a quotation for the Young Minds program received by 𝗵𝙗𝙗𝙗, then the funds are actually paid directly to SBS Ed. So it really is no mess, no fuss. And as it says there, the financial data of every applicant is entirely confidential and is not shared with SBS Ed at all. So, I really think it is a fantastic opportunity for those of you that were hoping to find bursary opportunities. So I would encourage you to have a look at our website via the link in the chat.
Thank you, Kerry. I think that brings us to almost the end of our presentation for this afternoon. Just before we're going to give some opportunity to anyone who would like to pose some questions, but allow me just to then reinforce and say, remember, this is a 9-month career-focused gap year program. Will run from the 7th of March to the 10th of November for 2023. And please, ladies and gentlemen, you find the information on the screen right now, the information of Charmaine Mitchell, who is our liaison officer. Please contact Charmaine should you have any other questions. We will go into a Q&A session right now, but if there's something that happens that you didn't get a satisfactory answer to and our time has run out, you are more than welcome to contact Charmaine. I wonder, Charmaine, if you can maybe just give a wave, not a Mexican wave, please, just like sort of people to see who you are as well. That's the lovely Charmaine looking at you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point of the afternoon, suffice to say, do you have any questions? Please, you are welcome to raise your hand, and that's just simply so that it's easy for us to navigate. But in the meantime, if you one of the shire dispensation or disposition, then maybe you want to just put your question in the chat, and my colleagues and I will keep an eye on it, and we will respond as best we can.
Pearl, Kevin, if I can just address Pearl's question in the chat. She did send me a private message, and Pearl, I did reply to you actually, but I think you might have missed it. Pearl is asking if you can go into the Young Minds program in your second year after finishing Matric, and the answer is absolutely yes. So the average age of participants on the Young Minds program is about 19 or 20. Generally speaking, I would say 23 and above is sort of getting a bit long in the tooth from an average age perspective. But absolutely yes. Many participants have taken a gap year. And are still not sure quite what they'd like to do. And so that's when this program really does provide that sort of necessary focus and insight.
Thank you, Kerry. I see that question just now. Good. Any other questions? Something that's unclear? Let us help you to clarify.
Please don't be shy.
All right, Dimple. You may speak.
Hi, can I question? Do you guys allow any different bursaries from like everywhere, or is it just your guys' bursaries? Or you don't allow bursaries at all?
What is that? Bursaries?
Bursaries.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm just checking with. I'm just checking if I understand the question. Are you asking whether we allow any bursary, people with any bursary? I think the question is more whether the people who has allocated the bursary would pay for our program. If they're willing to pay for our program, we will allow it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
John, your question, what are the benefits of being part of this program? Wow. Whew. I'm just gonna, I would really, so I have the privilege of going to speak at the Stellenbosch University Open Day and at some school career days. And I've also had the privilege of meeting participants of the program when they start the program and then when they finish. And I think Kevin can also speak to that very well. And, you know, John, really the fundamental benefits, I think, are the holistic nature of the business of the business modules. So, you know, it covers, as you saw on that slide, you know, finance, strategy, marketing, HR, leadership, personal mastery, there are a whole lot of economics, and, you know, just from that perspective, it really provides young people with a very good understanding and introduction to what things really are. Because, you know, I don't want to scare anybody, but the first year dropout rate at university is 70% in South Africa, okay? And not at Stellenbosch University, I just want to qualify that, but as an average. And, you know, a lot of that is because young people don't actually know what they are getting into. So, you know, this program, from a perspective of theory, it provides an incredibly holistic overall understanding of business theory in terms of the different elements, okay? And then these individuals need to go and put together a business plan. So it brings in the practical side. So then that leads me to young people thinking they know what something is, and then actually going and doing it. So then they take what they've learned and they do their business plan, but then they actually go and think, okay, great, I think I'd be very good at HR, and they go and spend some time job shadowing, and they realize that it actually isn't what they think it is. And that is incredibly empowering, okay? Then the next empowering element of that is the personal mastery golden thread. And that is really about understanding who you are and where you really do fit in. You know, what really are my strengths? What really are my weaknesses? And having other people to bounce those off with that are independent to your parents, you know, that are professionals and that can really provide you with professional guidance and dedicated time. You know, I think that is an incredible opportunity for a young person. And finally, so we've got entrepreneurial thinking, and that is about, it's not about, yes, you're going to go out and start your own business. Many of our alumni do, you know, absolutely, and very successfully. And, you know, the irony is that in 2015, our top student was a business science dropout. He joined the program in his third year of university. He dropped out of university in second year, and he went on to become our top student for the year. And the business plan that he put together went on, he actually ended up starting the business, and he was picked up by Discovery Health, and he was sent to Silicon Valley, and he actually now has a business that sells a highly specialized litmus paper that measures fat content in the body. You know, that's just one example, and it speaks to the ability to identify opportunities and then act on them. So, you know, I think those are the benefits. Kevin?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much, Kira. I think that is quite comprehensive as you covered that. But I remember just now, most recently, one of our current cohorts said to me a week and a half ago, he said to me, he's so glad he did this because now he feels that he's better prepared. Just to link to that point that you made around the dropout rate for first-year students in South Africa, he feels that he's better prepared for life at university. So just, John, also in terms of your second question, when you ask about the opportunity for social engagement other than Zoom calls with both lecturers and students. So maybe just to say this, so since we are having the classes as remote classes, meaning that they can be on a Zoom call for their class, it doesn't mean that they cannot, for example, if the children or the young people need to be in Stellenbosch for the first semester. So many parents would say, I'll have the accommodation for the year. And so they are able to form those kind of social networks. The faculty can be contacted and they can form self-directed teams in the syndicate teams as well. So there's more than enough opportunity for social engagement on campus, obviously, but that will depend on whether the young person is sort of resident in Stellenbosch or not. Yeah. So just to answer that. And then there was another question, I think, with regard to the language of instruction. Afrikaans, most of our faculty can speak Afrikaans, but the medium of instruction, the language of instruction will be in English. Fortunately, we in South Africa, so everyone have that opportunity that they at least a second or third language English speaker, and that's sufficient for them to manage themselves within a learning context in class as well. I just want to make sure we've quite a number of questions popping up.
Kevin, Marlies has a question. Do the students write exams or are there more assessments?
Okay, that was the other one. Yes, they don't write exams. I think I've tried to make that point earlier on to say, for us, it's about the application of the learning rather than just the knowledge. So the assignments is geared towards demonstrating the application of learning. Unfortunately, your young people won't need to be worried about a block time where they have to write exams as such, but they do have to pass all the assignments that they have in order to be successful.
Jeff is asking, what days of the week are the campus sessions and do they run one after the other?
The days of the week, there will be 3 days in which they will be, and I just need to open my document because I don't want to give you the wrong information, because I remember we just looked at which days we want to have it done, being mindful of the young people having maybe a weekend job or some other commitments that they might have. So if you just give me a second and I'll tell you immediately.
So in the meantime, I will answer Cindy's question. Would there be assistance in helping get into job shadowing environments? So Cindy, SPED we don't do any job shadowing placements, but that really is the onus of the individual to try and find something that obviously then speaks to their interests, speaks to the what the coaches are helping them with, it speaks to their psychometrics. But we can't then be responsible to place every participant in job shadowing, no. But to my point about the coaching, and obviously Marc-Andre is there to give guidance, to provide ideas, to think of different options. So it really is a team effort.
Yep, and I'm just getting, and we were just talking about that earlier on, and I've forgotten. It's old age that causes that.
So Elizabeth, I will, you've given us an idea for a new revenue stream, I think. Could this course be given over weekends to grade 11 youngsters? In terms of grade 11, we are limited in the NQF alignment that we can actually deliver programs at, because the Stellenbosch Business School is our quality assurance provider, and obviously the program is certificated by the university. So at this stage, because of the NQF alignment of a grade 11, we wouldn't be able to do that. But we have actually presented it at a version of it to Treverton High School in Natal. We have done a closed cohort for Treverton High School's grade 12. So, I think if you wouldn't mind sending me a private message, and then we can continue this conversation.
All right, then just
your email address.
Yeah. Then just to come back, so the days will be Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So there will be some weeks that it might run over another day, but it will always be 3 days in a particular week, with the majority of the days being Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And like I've mentioned, we know that young people, some of the young people, we encourage them to get a real sense of the world of work. And so they might have a weekend job that they would still want to do, and not for the program to interfere with that. That's why we've decided to leave the Fridays out. But there might be some Fridays that they will be required to do some work as well.
Kevin, may I butt in here? Sorry, Kerry. I want to link to your point as well, Kerry, but on the current point that you were finishing off, Kevin, about the days, it does not mean that the learning only happens on those 3 days. Those are the 3 days for the actual lectures or classes. And the other 2 days is what you'll spend on getting together with your team, again, speaking to one of the questions, socializing, working together, researching, and completing your assignments and your tasks. So it's not as if, oh, it's only a 3-day-a-week course, and so it's pretty cool. No, the rest of the time is for you to go out and get your research and get together and work together in your teams. And then to Kerry's point, to address 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, to address 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗's issue, perhaps Kevin or Kerry can talk about the value of the actual certificate, you know, credit bearing. How does it help you when you go and go and study further? What is the value of this qualification?
Can I answer that, Kevin?
Yes, you may.
Sorry, 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗, I did try to address your message to me. I'm sorry if it wasn't clear. So the Young Minds program and SBS Ed courses in general. So we are effectively the short course provider of the Stellenbosch Business School. Okay, so while they do the business related MPhils, the MBAs, and the PG Dips, we present short courses, our longest course being our executive program, which is 7 months. Our courses are short course credits. We do not earn academic credits towards university programs. So in terms of any kind of credit exemption towards a Stellenbosch University undergraduate, we do not, the Young Minds program won't officially help with that. However, the SU admissions team know Young Minds very well, and they know our participants very well, our alumni, and they really are a cut above the rest. So, you know, in terms of a letter of motivation from the SBS team in terms of an admission to an undergrad, that is absolutely feasible and possible, but there are no credits that are being earned towards university application. Does that answer your question? For postgraduate, it's the same. It doesn't make any difference whether it's undergraduate or postgraduate.
Thank you, Kerry. Yeah.
Sorry, Kerry, could I add? But it lays such an important foundation that you do not get at school to go if you're going to consider postgrad qualifications. It lays the foundation that you would not have been receiving at school. So it might not give you a credit, but it does prepare you, it prepares the mindset for further studies. So it's absolutely beneficial in that sense. Yes, thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
Can I just add? Sorry, can I just add one more thing? You know, a lot of our participants, and this speaks to the comments about the 3-day-a-week program. There is a lot of time. There is a lot of free time in this program. So the learning is the 3-day-a-week, but there is time, and there is time for part-time jobs, but the program needs to come first. And I think the attendance is 95% attendance, Kevin, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
and
correct.
Anything less than that, because this also speaks to the responsibility of the young person. A 95% attendance rate needs to be maintained throughout the year. And I think that qualifies as three sessions throughout the year that can only be missed. Okay. But also the opportunity that many of the participants have taken up is to rewrite some of their grade 12 subjects. Actually, our best student, I think it was 2 years ago, she was absolutely committed and completely certain that she wanted to do organizational psych at Stellenbosch, and she did not have the right maths mark. And she rewrote her grade 12 maths exam 3 times in the Young Minds year, and she went on to be top student that year. And I can actually send out some videos of Magre where she speaks about the value of the Young Minds program. I promise you, when she said her speech at the certificate award function, there was not a dry eye in the room, and she got into org psych. So, you know, there is a bit of flexibility, but the program needs to come first. So, you know, there's also national sports opportunities. You know, some of our participants have represented South Africa, and it then has to be managed very carefully around the program deliverables.
Maybe just also to add what Kerry is saying around attendance, even though we're looking at 95%, but we're very careful not to make that a target for young people, so that they start looking at, oh, I can still miss this or whatever. So the basic rule is all classes is compulsory and all activities are compulsory, but we do understand that there are sometimes things that pop up, and so from that point of view, we're looking at just managing that in a different way, rather than young people feeling that they have a target to achieve at the end of the day. Okay, good. Just maybe the last point, I see that there was a question around the fees that Chanel just posted that already there again. Thank you for that question. And then I see Mark, your hand is raised. Maybe a last comment?
Yes, Kevin, just in addition to what you said from an LPF point of view, yes, there's a lot of free time. Kerry is absolutely correct. We've had people who are involved in family businesses, and they were able to do this and add value to their family business since they have a better understanding of business principles now. But I wanted to say is, yes, the 3 classes are there for you to attend, and those are compulsory. The rest of the time, though, is not just social time. You will become part of a team. We call them syndicate teams. And collaboratively, you will work on assignments and tasks. So you will have a responsibility to the rest of your team, because you will have to contribute to that team. And so we also look at your participation within the team and working with others, because those are the other skills that we're also trying to foster within you, taking responsibility, because when you go into the business world, then obviously you become part of a team. And so working with others, diarizing, having structured meetings and times to meet and work on common tasks. So it's not just a 3-day on and 2 days off kind of week. The rest of the time you will sort out in your social time, but there will be work that has to be done with your teammates as well. And this is the role of the LPF, to actually track that and to monitor that and make sure that there is participation, active participation from everyone within the team, so that the team is not disadvantaged by 1 or 2 members not fully committed to the team effort.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Then Jeff, just in terms of your question, yes, it's not compulsory for people on the days that they don't have class to be in Stellenbosch. It's not compulsory. However, as Mark already just indicated, the syndicate team might have to meet, but that's self-directed meeting time. And even that kind of meeting time can happen remotely as well. In other words, it doesn't have to be face-to-face, yeah? So it's not compulsory to be in Stellenbosch on the days that there are no classes. Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
Given the questions on
Monique,
accommodation in Stellenbosch?
Is there any assistance you can? Okay. Samantha, is Samantha still there? Maybe you just want to quickly respond to that question around accommodation.
The private res that accommodates our Young Mind students, and that's academia, but we don't actually facilitate that application to that residence. So you will go via the PO group on campus, or contact them directly.
Samantha was referring to PSO, Private Students Organization. Private Students Organization. So that's an organization on campus that supports students who live privately on campus. Yeah. And then also Chanel Bowers just sort of posted a link where they can also get accommodation. But from our side, we don't facilitate that. The participant need to sort themselves out in that regard. Thanks. All right.
Sorry, there was a request by John for the gentleman who dropped out of second year, and I'd just like to share. He was our top student in 2015, 𝙗𝙗𝙘𝙗𝙗, and he still has his medical diagnostics company. And you can read, you can Google him and read up about him. And he's also in the last video link that I posted. So I posted a video on the young lady who went on to do 𝙒𝙖𝙧𝙗, who was the top student 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Some of the videos that she did about her experience, and then also Robin's video that he did in 2015 for us, just to give you guys a bit of information.
All right. Before I give to Mark or Andre, there's just a question around the team selection. The LPFs will assign participants to syndicate teams. And the reason for that is just simply so that we can ensure greater diversity within the syndicate teams. So after you've done the strengths finder, etc., then the LPF will allocate you to a particular syndicate team.
Thank you, Kevin.
John,
thank you, Kevin. I was going to refer to John's question because it is, students always want to know, to what extent are we part of the university life and can we partake of the facilities at the university? Am I a university student?
Okay, yes, so you are free to utilize all facilities on campus. There's a fee, and all students must pay a fee for the usage of the gym, etc., etc. But our students are not, they cannot represent Matrics in representative sport. So in other words, you can't play for varsity cup or any of those. But other than that, you are free, you are able to utilize the facilities on campus. And then via the private students organization, during our orientation week, we have the private students organization coming to address our participants and giving all the information in terms of where they can get involved, what are the fees to that. But we can also provide those fees chains on a yearly basis. And then the closer to the end of the year, close to the start of the new year, those fees will be available and we will be able to share that with prospective participants as well.
And also just finally, if I can add to that, speaking to the question about the facilities, so USP-Ed, I mean, the Young Minds participants are not Stellenbosch University students. They are SPS-Ed students. And so there are some restrictions on the use of the facilities, and to Kevin's point, actually representing the university at big matches, but there's no limitation on joining the clubs. It's just about, for example, representing Matrics at InterVarsity. That will not be permitted because Young Minds students are not Stellenbosch University students.
Great. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Mark Andre, for all the contributions. Thank you, team. I see there's another question coming in. Do you require a matric certificate to be uploaded as part of the application?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's absolutely fine, Renette. You can get provisional acceptance based on prelim results, but then once the matric certificate has come in for final results, that must please be submitted. Sam, is that right?
Absolutely.
That's correct.
Yeah. All right. Gabby, unfortunately not. And yeah, I understand that, things go wrong. Unfortunately not. We will support participants in their search for placements, etc. But we do not sort of facilitate that for the participant. All right. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached just after 5:30 or just at 5:30 right now. And we're going to end our time together for this afternoon. Allow me to say a great thank you to you, our guests this afternoon, for being with us and for those questions. Trust that it really contributed in you getting a better sense of what we're offering, and you helping you to make that decision for yourself or for the young person that you were thinking of. And we want to wish you, if you're going to go into the matric exams right now, those of you who are still writing matric, and if you have kids that are writing matric, we want to wish you all the best. We know it's a stressful time for parents and for students alike. We're thinking of you in this time, but like I said to some other young people, it's about 2 months to go, and then you have a big, long holiday ahead of you. So focus on this, the little bit of sacrifice you have to make now, but then you can see there is light at the end of the tunnel as well. Thank you, and we trust to see you in 2023 on our program. Admittedly, if there are still questions that's outstanding, please do not forget to contact Charmaine Mitchell. We thank you.
Thank you.